Ladies and gentlemen, Bethany Brothers. I didn't introduce the band. Well, maybe I did. But anyway, we are the Bethany Brothers. Our second set. Butch Boyce to my right with the guitar, lead guitar, vocals, great hair. On the back, Randy Pednitero on drums, bad hair. And me, well, draw your own conclusions.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. So, ladies and gentlemen, trivia question. Why don't we and Bethany Brothers pick who did that song? Yes, you're right, The Outsiders. So this next one is very special to our hearts, and particularly our drummer, and I won't say why, but he knows why. But this is another song by the Byrds. And Butch Boyce over here is our in-band biblical scholar. And Butch, can you confirm that this is from the Bible, this passage?
Yes.
And what specific passage is it?
Ecclesiastes 3:1.
All right, can't ask for anything more than that. Thank you, Butch. Now we're all educated. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Time to be born, time to die, time to wait.
drummer, Randy Pignataro on drums. And I'm going to be switching guitars right now, and Randy may or may not be doing a guitar drum solo. So a question mark, so I turn off that?
I'll turn you off here. I'll just turn you off.
Okay.
Don't say anything, 'cause I'm not gonna do that.
You aren't?
No.
Maybe you will.
No, I'm not a.
Randy, it's like a minute. You can't do a drum solo for a minute?
No.
All right. Butch, it sounds like you're going to have to do a guitar solo for a minute.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be good.
All right, well, all right, so here's the thing. We're going to have to fill the space somehow, so we'll figure that out in the next rehearsal. We got to fill it somehow. You just be sitting around. No, that might not be the best way to do it.
No. I did have an idea for the beginning of the record, though. It's something that when we were messing around with, we did, that I thought would be cool.
Let's do it when we get to it. I'm a hot, okay? So I should be back on. This next song that we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, Rick Comfort, who is right here with us, and he'll be here July 19th. Come and see Rick Comfort. He joins the Bethany Brothers. We used to do this song way back in the day. As a matter of fact, I don't think there's a song that every song is way back in the day for us old guys. But in any event, Butch, will you lead us off? out my guitar was just really thin. That's the only thing I didn't like about it. But you know what? It's still do it. We're still doing it. Okay. So this next song, trivia contest, we asked somebody once, who does the song Memories? And a gentleman who actually happens to be here right now said Barbra Streisand. And even though it's not the song that we do, he got a pick because he was right. So this is a different song called Memories. So our next song, I have a friend who hopefully comes to this show because this song is dedicated to her. But if not, there's another woman out here, a Wallingford woman. This song will be dedicated to you. My capo is right here. Thanks, Rick. Got it. So without any further ado, Butch, hit it off. Jenny, Jenny. That's for our buddy in California, Jenny, Jenny. And actually, it's kind of perfect because I can keep the capo on for this next song, which is an Eagles song, and it's called Peaceful, Easy Feeling. And what, you want to start us off? So we have a friend out there who's seen us play many times, and she likes our music. She's happy with our music, but she gets really enthusiastic when she hears this song. And this song is called Summer '69, and Butch is going to lead us off. And Butch, how old were you during the summer of '69?
3.
3. So he's grown up quite a bit. Hit it!
I got my first real six string, bought it at the five and dime. Played it till my fingers bled. Was the summer of '69. We had some guys from school, had a band and we tried real hard. Really quick till we got married. Sure you know we never get far. But when I look back now, that song that seemed to last forever. And if I had a choice, yeah, I'd always wanna be there. Those are the best days of my life. They know you can sit complaining when you got a job to do. Spend my evenings down at the drive-in, and that's when I met you. Standing on the porch, you told me that you'd wait forever. Then when you held my hand, I knew that it was now or never. Those were the best days of my life. Back in the summer of '69. Oh yeah. And we were killing time. We were young and restless, needed to unwind. Like this time can last forever, forever. And now the times are changing. Look at everything that's going on. Sometimes when I play that old six string, think about you, wonder what went wrong. Staying on your mama's porch, you told me that it lasts forever. Oh, and when you held my hand, I knew that it was now or never. Those were the best days of my life. Oh yeah, back in the summer of '69. Oh yeah, me and the lady in '69.
Alright? You good?
Good?
You good? Okay, we're good. Come, what happened? I had to reconnect with him twice during that song.
Did you?
Yeah, but we did it. All right. Sunshine of your love. here, and then,
That's me.
no, that's the lead. There's a break, and then there's a
Oh,
lead.
all right.
Okay?
All right.
Take it from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so Butch, Surrender, what are we doing about this one?
So when we were playing around the other day, I did this, and I went. Then I stopped and you did your thing. You did your, what I was thinking is, we can go back and forth maybe once or twice, so I'll do. Stop. I'll do it again.
What? That's a good pace right there. That's a really good pace right there.
Right.
That's a good pace. So try it again.
Ready?
in it that he did that I like, but I can't remember what it is right now. When you came back in, so that was pretty good. All right, what's next? Randy's like, fuck.
More?
A letter. Yeah, we got, let's see, let me see how many we got left here. We got 1, 2. We have 3 songs left in this set. That's not bad. That's not bad. Bang it. So, next song, classic Creedence Clearwater Revival, featuring Mr. Randy Pecatero on drums. 1, 2, 3, 4. So ladies and gentlemen, we're about to conclude our second set, and I just want to say one thing here. So we try to get people involved, we hope everybody has a good time, and we try to throw little extra things in as well too. So at the very end of this song, we hope to provide you with a little sort of, I guess you call it rock concert-esque. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No time before you, no time before you.
feedback. Scratch! All right. We're the Bethany Brothers. We will be back for one more set. Hey, hold up, Brad. Good. Good. All right. Let's keep rocking then, baby.